the first organization you need to have is like a notebook, since it's a thing to keep your notes organized. So I'll be showing you first physical notes and then digital notes. So for physical notes, you always have your normal go-to notebook, and you can get it in your local bookstore in any kind of design you want, and it just comes in all shapes and sizes. In here, this is the B5 one. Oh no, I think this is the A. This must be like the A5 because it's too small. So they have like in my local store they have A6, A5, B5, and the A4. So I find the A4 too bulky for me, and for me, a normal A5 notebook should do, unless you are taking a very course heavy subject. Then you can always take the A4 notebook. So the pros of this is that it's very lightweight. It's of course also very affordable, and the only con you'll only have here is that it's not customizable. Meaning, like if you, like for example, if you write something wrong, you cannot like put it into another. You cannot like just transfer it. You would have to like tear it out. And of course, if you finish this notebook and you're not yet done with the subject, you are still forced to get a new notebook, and you might not be able to finish it. So for some reasons, some people find it very some people don't like to do that. So the next one, of course, you have is a multiple subject notebook. So what is a multiple subject notebook? So it's basically one notebook, but like they divide it into the number of subjects. So if this was a 5-subject notebook, like this would be one subject, and there would be like a divider and then another subject. Yeah, so that's all for 5 of them. And the pros about this is that you don't have to buy too many notebooks. Like if you have 5 subjects, you don't have to buy 5 notebooks, which will cost you more than an average 5-subject notebook. And it's also lightweight, since you don't have to carry 5 notebooks as a weight. Rather, you just carry one of them. And if you don't have to like be scared of forgetting what notebook to bring, because you will always be bringing just one notebook. And the only con about this is that it's also not customizable. So for example, you finish this amount of pages for one subject and you need another page. I'm sorry, but you cannot transfer it. So next thing we have is a binder notebook. So what is a binder notebook? So if you can see, this binder notebook it can fit a certain amount of pages, and to put more, you just have to like open this and fit those with holes. So what I like about this is that it's also really affordable. So if you make a one-time purchase and just keep purchasing the refills, it costs less than actually purchasing like multiple notebooks. And what I like about this is also like it's customizable. So if you use this for one subject and you run out of pages, all you have to do is get a refill and just like open this, and that's it. Then just slide it in. And if you make a mistake, you can always transfer the pages. You can also make this like a multiple subject notebook, since there are also tabs that you can buy. So in here there are 4 tabs, which means it can be for 4 subjects, or if you want to organize this as one subject, then these tabs can be like per lesson. Now the cons that I find about this is that it's hard to find sometimes these kinds of refills, so you need to have a certain, like if you're B5, 26 holes. So for some people, it's hard to find those kinds of papers that are already hole punched in their country, and it also might be more expensive. And if you actually want to hole punch a certain blank paper, then you will need to purchase your own hole puncher like this, which could also cost a lot in certain countries. So now we move into digital note-taking. So what is digital note-taking? It is when you take notes using an iPad or any tablet or a laptop. So the pros I like about digital note-taking is that you can access it anywhere and all you need is your mobile phone. So you just have to bring your tablet or laptop to school and you don't have to worry about bringing all those notebooks. Second, it's lightweight. So for people who have back problems, who cannot carry too many notebooks, then digital notes is a solution you can always look into, because all you have to do is carry a tablet or a laptop. The next pro that I find is that it's backup friendly. So unlike physical notes, you can lose it anytime and that's it. Well, with digital notes, all you have to do is make sure your backup is on, so you can back it up to like Google Drive, iCloud, or any kind of storage provider you have. And the thing I also like about digital notes is that it's an eco-friendly way, because you don't have to buy all those pens, markers, highlighters that study community always invest, because it's like you consume too much. So like to stop consuming, you can always buy like an application and they will already give you like pen and you can choose any color you want. Here, you can like create custom ones or even your highlighter, and you can also adjust the size, which I also like. And another thing about digital notes is that it's pretty much more customizable than physical notes. So if you have diagrams, you can just like get it from the photos and just paste it in here. You don't have to waste printer ink and print it and paste it on your notebook. And for apps like GoodNotes, NoteShelf, Notability, they will allow you to customize your notes. So like you can copy this page, add this page in outline, rotate it, or you can change the template into any way you want. So it's pretty much more customizable. And the only cons I have here is that, of course, if you're just gonna use this tablet or laptop to note take, then it's really a big investment. They're not cheap, I'll tell you. Not many people have access to iPads, to laptops. And second of all, is that your eyes may strain, and you can also develop myopia, which is like nearsightedness. So how do you develop myopia is if you keep staring at your iPad in a very short distance. So you will always need to keep a distance from it to make sure you won't develop myopia. But sadly, for digital note taking, you would always need to like stare at it constantly, so you would always need to take frequent breaks. And you would also need accessories, sadly, for like if you're gonna take notes in an iPad, since to maximize the use of GoodNotes, you might have to purchase an Apple Pencil for you to have a better handwriting and better user interface. Because I, as a person who doesn't have an Apple Pencil, feel like that I cannot maximize the use of my digital note-taking compared to if I had an Apple Pencil. So of course, the next organizations that you will need is a folder. A folder is pretty much a nice way to organize all your files and documents for school. So of course, I'll show you different kinds of folders you can actually use. So of course, you would have your normal folder that you can get in your local store. Mine, I just got this from a travel expo, and this is like a normal folder, since like it's just like a one pocket one, and this is pretty affordable. In my country, it just costs you about 15 pesos, which is like what, $0.3. So I have a feeling it's really affordable in almost every country you can find. The only problem about this is that if you have multiple subjects, you would use only one folder. it's pretty much not organizing because you still have to look through like which documents are the ones that belong to this subject. And also, if you put too many files on this folder, it will eventually crack open since it can't handle the amount of storage. And if you have also too many, it will like tend to be like this, and it will tend to like fall out on your bag if you just shove it in. So another folder you can get is a 2-pocket folder. So what is that difference between the one I showed you? Well, the other one just has 1 pocket. In this one, there are 2 pockets. So what you can do is you can put this file is for one subject, this file is for another subject. But if you want if you want to use this for like a one subject, you can put here, let's just say test homeworks, here extra or supplemental documents for lessons. Now this is also pretty affordable. I got this for about 50 to 60 pesos, which is around $1 to $1.5. Yeah, it's really affordable, but of course not as cheap as the previous one, but it will still do a better organization system. So the next type of folder I will be showing you guys is a multiple subject folder. So what is a multiple subject folder? It is a folder that actually has many pockets that are good for organization. You can use 1 pocket equals to 1 subject so as to be organized. So I'll be showing you 2 kinds. This first one is the normal kind you would find almost anywhere. So this is an example of one of my multiple subject folder, and yes, it has been worn down after 4 years of using. So this is how a multiple subject folder would look like. 1 tab here, 1 tab here. This can be for math, this can be for science, and I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This is a 10 subject folder, which is pretty much enough for me since I have actually 9 to 10 subjects per year. So if I have extra pockets, it will just be used to store miscellaneous stuff. So what are the advantages of having a multiple subject folder? For one, you'll be more organized than using the folders that I showed you previously. 2, it's all in one, so you don't have to buy 12 one subject folder to fit in your bag, because I'm very sure you're going to forget one of those folders. Rather, you actually just have to bring 1 folder which has everything. The third thing is that it is more durable. So 1 subject folders usually last me a year before they break, while this one lasted me 4 years thanks to its durability. So what I don't like about it is that it's not that affordable. To be honest, this thing costed me 200 pesos, which is about $4. And speaking from a third world country, some people may not have enough money to actually spend that much for a folder. They would most likely get a 1 subject folder. The next thing that I also don't like is that it can be very bulky once you start filling up pages. And when I say how bulky, it can get like maybe like this, and you just times if all of them are full, and which can also cause breakage. So this is just another type of multiple subject folder. So what's the difference between that and the previous one I showed you? So this one actually comes with tabs. So these tabs, for example, lead to this folder, which is highly accessible for easy, like for fast viewing. And this is also 12 subjects. So what I can do here is that I can put actually the code name of my subject. And this one here, once it gets full, it's easily expandable, which is good so that it will prevent breakage of the folder easily. It also comes with like this stuff that you can just like photocopy it and reuse it again. Just name the subjects here. And the most difference you can find is that each tab actually has 2 pockets, whereas the other one just has 1 pocket. So this is actually good for organizing your subjects. You can have tests and homeworks, and you can always have supplemental materials in here. So the problem is that this is highly expensive from where I live. This costs around 500 pesos, which is $10, and I got this on sale, which is why I got to save money, and this was 200 pesos after the sale, since it was a back to school sale. So it also might not be that much affordable to some people. So the last type of folder I want to show you is this expandable folder, or what they call expandable envelope. So what is the difference between this and the other folders that I've shown you? Well, let's just say that it looks like a briefcase, which looks very formal. It also has 12 pockets, so same thing with the other one I just previously showed you. But the main difference is that it has more capacity of storage. So if you've seen the folders, you can only store a few amount of papers, because if you store a lot, they're going to break easily. But this one can store more, and it won't break that easily since it seems really durable. So what you can do is that this can be your main go-to folder. Like after you look at your folder and decide which ones that you don't need to bring to school anymore so that you can lessen your bag load, you just put this in here for safekeeping. And these tabs are used to like put what subject this is for. So this is a good way of keeping some old notes that you might need in the future but you don't use in school currently. So the main feature I like about this is that it can store a lot, and as you can see, it can just keep expanding, and it also has a briefcase, so you can hold it outside. What I don't like about this is that it can seem very bulky when you bring it to school. It might not also fit in your bag since some expandable envelopes like this don't have the handle because you have to pay for extra. This is also not very cheap. This is also around 300 to 500 pesos again, so it might not be affordable for some, but if you're willing to save up for money, then this is pretty much a good investment. And likewise, maybe you can just buy one of these instead of just getting multiple folders, since for me, just having this before during middle school, I was able to actually keep myself organized. So another great organization system to have at home is a file rack. So what can a file rack do? So a file rack can actually store notebooks, binders, magazines, as long as it can fit into this lid. This is just a great way to place all of your notebooks in here so that you won't lose it at home, and you can just place this in one place and easily pick up your notebooks and binders. So for me, you would actually need a really sturdy one if you have a lot of stuff, since plastic ones actually tend to break from my experience. I have been using this Muji, and I know, yes, it's not pretty affordable, but for its quality, it was really durable in keeping up with all the notebooks and binders I put in here. Of course, if you have a notebook to organize your notes, folders to organize your school documents, you will need something to organize your pens, right? So, of course, pencil cases. There's a wide variety today to choose from, and you have to consider some stuff. 1. How much pens are you going to store in your pencil case? Number 2. Durability. 3. Compactness. So, if you will store just a few pens, then why don't you get like pencil cases like this? They are actually fit through, and you can store, for me, if you have thin ball pens, it's about 4 to 5. I typically use this when I have test days on final days, since we're not allowed to bring a big size of pencil case. Another example for small pencil cases that you can use if you want to store only a few pens are zippered pouch. So you just have to open this, and like you will wait, you will have it open. So this is really good also for exam days, especially when the school requires you to have it on to make it plastic so it's visible. Since I know some people or some schools require for plastic to prevent cheating. So this is one that I will typically use, and the only problem is if this zipper part might easily break from my experiences of having these kinds of type of zippers in my pencil cases. So another great pencil case to actually have if you have a small pencil case is investing in a small stand-up pencil case. So this is the Kokyo Kritzar, probably the only Kokyo product I've ever had because this was a gift. So like, this is how it works. You just open the zipper, the flaps will come out. All you have to do is just like pull down the flaps, and if you're in a flat surface, it's just gonna stand. And if you have like pens, you can actually be able to see them. So here's an example. So it's easily accessible, so it doesn't take too much space on your table, and you don't have to like flick through and find which pens you're looking for. Rather, you can see it and just pick it up. So this is for only few types of pens. For me, I tried this. It can only fit about 10 to 15 if it's on this kind of size, and if it's for thinner, it can fit about 20. And for people who want a wider pouch, I can highly recommend you this push case. Push case is also like a standing up pencil case. You just have to open this, and to push it down, push, and then you would have your pens in here. So this can fit about 40 pens, which is more than the one the Kokyo can offer. So for people who have more pens, this is also a great way to keep your pens. And you can also fit like rulers of around 15 cm. Yeah, so for short rulers or even correction tapes can fit here. Okay, so people, if you have a lot of pens that you carry to school, one thing I can suggest is this kind of pencil case. So initially, this is like a makeup pouch bag, which also has a handle for easier carry. But upon opening it, you are like met with lots of storage. So this main storage fits all 50 of my pens. Yes, I have 50 pens in here, and it fits perfectly with my correction tape and eraser. And you also have this top to put for your most used pens if you want easier access. This is just a mesh case that you can put like rulers, tapes, sticky notes, pencil lead, and yeah, this is a big one. And the only problem you're gonna have is that it isn't easy to see what kind of pens you have, especially if your pens are at the bottom. Of course, for people who don't like traditional pencil cases, there are also other ways. I've seen people using makeup pouches, like the big pouch, which is also a good idea. And some people generally also uses this. So this is like normally for storage for big stuff, has a handle. Mostly my classmates use this, which is actually very intuitive. They will store all their pens here, and it can fit so much because of its very big size. So of course, if you have materials to keep all your stationery, your notes organized, you need something to keep yourself organized, or else I don't know what's gonna happen to you. So the one I recommend always is a planner. And of course, there are different kinds of planner, and you should consider what kind of planner you need. Some people prefer daily planners, which will have like mini pages for each day, so they can always have an extensive to-do list or schedule for today. Others like me, we love the weekly layout because it's very minimalist, and this is just generally how a weekly layout will look like. So let's just here. So this is how a weekly layout would normally look like. Either the planner will have one page just for all the days, and a notes page that you can put more detailed stuff. Like for example, there's a test on here, so you write the test name and what materials are included for the test. Or there may be planners that will have, for example, let's say 4 days here and 3 days here, so you'll have more space. So yeah, and people like monthly layouts. So monthly layouts are really the thinnest kind of planner you can find, because it just consists of like a whole 2 pages like this for 1 month. So for me, it's not that suitable because I can write down extensively. What I like is if I use my weekly and monthly layout. So I would normally just create a calendar for myself and put it as a monthly planner. And you should also consider what add-ons do you want to your planner. So for example, there are other planners that have goal setting page or maybe a notes page. So for me, I have a notes page here, and it's dotted, which I also like. Okay, so one thing you should also consider is how will you store every single file per subject. So I think this is actually common to students in the UK and Ireland, that they will use big binders like this to store everything they have, because these are really big binders. So I have mine in the 1.5 inch, but they range from 0.5, 1 inch, 1.5, 2, and 2.5 inches here. So what I like is that if you're like done with a subject and you might need this in the future, if you take courses related to that subject, then all you need to do is just store them here. So what I suggest as an organization system is to make an index page. So you use harder paper, more durable paper as the index. It will say here, for example, notes, supplemental materials, practice exercises, test papers, other materials, and I would like to put like a tab on like the above page. And for notes, I can just hole punch my notes, or you can use sheet protectors to actually protect your notes if you don't want to hole punch them. And if I have like index cards that I use for my notes, I can just probably get another sheet protector to also put it. And you can also use sheet protectors, of course, for test papers if you have like past papers. So there are many organization stuff you can do with this kind of 3-ring binder, and there's also 2-ring binders. So that's all for this video, and I hope you guys like it, and if you do, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn post notifications to never miss a new video of mine. And I'm also having a giveaway, so if you want to see my last video, I'll also leave the link down below and maybe also in the cards. So I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!